What's up, everybody? We're back here with another New York Giants video, and in this video, I'm ecstatic to recap the 5-1 New York Football Giants. But first, make sure to check us out if you haven't already. You're watching us for the first time. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube channel at Big Blue Avenue. Appreciate all the support that we've gotten. And this episode is presented by BetUS. You can sign up with our promo code below there to join our proud sponsor at Join125. Get a 125% sign-up bonus when you bet on the go, anywhere, anytime. That is BetUS, America's #1 favorite sports book where the game begins. And folks, I am elated to talk about this Giants team. Shocking the Baltimore Ravens 24-20. Now, resiliency. That's the word I'm going to use to describe this football game. If you told me 6 weeks into the season the Giants would be 5-1, I would think you were out of your mind, especially with a new coaching staff, a lot of new players on the team. But the Giants get the job done, and it was not easy. The Giants were down 20-10 at one point in this game in the fourth quarter. It looked like Baltimore had the game close to being wrapped up in control. But Wink Martindale, beautiful call of the second half, getting his revenge against his old team, the Baltimore Ravens. I know him and John Harbaugh shared a special moment pregame, exchanged a hug there. But his defense caused two Baltimore turnovers on the final two drives of the game: a Lamar Jackson interception and a Lamar Jackson fumble. So Wink's funhouse cashed in key. And how about Daniel Jones? That's what I want to start with in this video. The Giants are 5-1. And a big reason why is because of the play of Daniel Jones. And it goes hand in hand. You give credit to the coaching. You give credit to the offensive line. You give credit to the quarterback play. You give credit to Saquon Barkley. There's a lot of factors that go into this, and Daniel Jones is one of them. Now, keep in mind in this game, the numbers didn't line up. The offense did not produce a single play of 20 yards or more. They were outgained yards-wise, 406-238. Daniel Jones saw his receivers drop 5 passes, 2 that could have been potential touchdowns. Down 20-10, Daniel Jones leads his team on back-to-back scoring drives to help the team win. That touchdown drive to Daniel Bellinger when they're down 20-10, Jones went 5 for 5, 57 yards and a touchdown. It was a nice throw to Daniel Bellinger in the end zone. That's another player who's really shining. He is a diamond in the rough at tight end, 4th-round pick out of San Diego State. He might be the future tight end one. That's no sure thing, of course, but he's playing like one right now. He can catch, he can block, he can run, as we saw. He can do it all. 5 catches for 38 yards and 1 touchdown for him. But back to Jones for a second. That second drive where Barkley had the game-winning touchdown, hitting guys, relying. I know they had a short field, but that whole game, he's just hitting guys left and right. Slayton on 3rd and long. He hit Richie James on a nice play. He hit Bellinger multiple times. Marcus Johnson once or twice. I mean, I'm proud of Daniel Jones and what he's been able to do. How about Wan'Dale Robinson scoring his first NFL touchdown, I think, in only his second game in the league? Robinson, I think, had 3 for 37 and a score. But Jones was good. Again, you look at the numbers on a piece of paper and they don't pop, right? 19-27, 173 yards and 2 touchdown passes. He was sacked 4 times and lost a fumble, but once again, no interceptions. None. Jones is now 8-3 in his last 11 starts, which dates back to last season, of course. Daniel Jones through 6 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, 6 weeks. That's a third of the season. Leads the NFL with 4 game-winning drives. And he's throwing to guys called up from the practice squad. David Sills was a practice squad guy before this season. In fact, Marcus Johnson was a practice squad guy until today when they elevated him to the 53-man. Yet he's finding a way to get it done. And in this game, the offensive line had their work cut out for them because we knew Baltimore was going to stack the box. We knew what Baltimore was going to do. Barkley had 22 rushes. They gave him the rock, but only 83 yards. That's less than 4 yards per carry. And he did not have a run longer than 8 yards. He did have that touchdown. He made some outstanding plays. He was a factor for sure. But Daniel Jones is a huge reason why the Giants won this football game. And you can't say enough about head coach Brian Daboll either. The play calling by Kafka is outstanding. Daboll has his team bought in, and the rookies are making an impact. Kayvon Thibodeau, game-winning strip sack. What a way to have your first career NFL sack. Evan Neal played his best game by far. 34 pass blocking snaps, just 1 pressure allowed. I mentioned Wan'Dale Robinson and Daniel Bellinger each scoring a touchdown. Joe Shane is good. He's good. I'll tell you that. And how about Andrew Thomas? Through 6 games, Andrew Thomas is playing like the best left tackle in the league right now. No sacks, just 1 QB hit, and 8 total pressures allowed. It tells you something. It tells you something about the coaching, the job that Bobby Johnson has done on the offensive line, and the work being put in by Andrew Thomas, who right now is the best offensive lineman in the National Football League. Not to mention the Giants were 7 of 14 on third down. So they faced a lot of third downs. They got behind the sticks 14 times, but they converted half of them. Huge improvement from last season. And they needed to convert those third downs because they were outrushed 211 to 83. They were outrushed 211 to 83. But you know what the difference was? The Giants scored 3 touchdowns on 5 red zone trips. And the defense caused 2 turnovers late in the game. Incredible. Now let's talk about that defense. We mentioned Kayvon Thibodeau. Xavier McKinney had 9 tackles. Julian Love, my player of the game. 1 pass defended in the end zone early on in the game that a lot of people forget about because that was hindered by his interception late in the game. 2 total passes defended and 5 tackles. Julian Love, a captain back there. He's been outstanding. Thibodeau had 3 tackles on top of his sack. Jihad Ward knows this team, made 2 tackles for loss, had a couple nice plays in the backfield, read the running game beautifully. J.K. Dobbins was not a factor, although Kenyon Drake was. Drake had a really good game, rushed for over 100 yards on us. Mark Andrews sliced through the defense as we expected him to. And, of course, Dexter Lawrence, we have to highlight. 2 QB hits, 1 pass defended, a tackle for loss, and a sack. I mean, dude's playing at an all-pro level. Another reason why the Giants won this football game, just 3 penalties compared to 10 for Baltimore. I know I still have the Daniel Jones ticker up here, but look, man, it's one of those things where you won the turnover battle 2-1. You had 7 less penalties than Baltimore. You were 3 for 5 in the red zone, 7 of 14 on third down. I mean, what do you expect? Brian Daboll has this team playing competitive football each and every week. And this stat right now that I'm about to list off is astonishing. From 2017 to 2021, so the past 5 seasons, right? The Giants were 3-47 record-wise when trailing by 10-plus points. So in any game, they could be trailing by 10-plus points a minute into the game. 3-47. This year, when trailing by 10-plus points, it's happened 4 times, and the Giants are 3-1. The Giants are 3-1. Coaching is the reason why the Giants are as good as they are, and the reason why they're winning a lot of these football games too. They're putting players in the best position to be successful, to utilize their strengths to maximum capabilities. There's a lot of players on this roster that a lot of people don't know about. It's a young team. It's a very, very young team. Let's look at Lamar Jackson in this game. Jackson had 2 fumbles, lost 1. He was sacked twice, had the interception, threw for 210 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 77 rushing yards on the ground on just 7 attempts. And Kenyon Drake blew the floodgates open on us. 10 rushes, 119 yards and 1 touchdown. But here's another area that deserves some credit, the corner play. Mark Andrews did his thing, right? 7 catches, 106 yards, and a score. We know we don't have the best of linebackers. That's our soft spot. But the next leading receiver after that was also a tight end, and Isaiah Likely, 2 catches for 30 yards. Now, yes, I know Lamar Jackson loves his tight ends, and Rashad Bateman didn't play. But they still have guys out there like Devin Duvernay. They have players that can run down the field and make catches like Demarcus Robinson. But the Giants' corners did their job. Fabian Moreau and Adoree Jackson were outstanding. Through 6 weeks, Brian Daboll is clearly the front runner for Coach of the Year. Lamar Jackson suffers his first loss to an NFC team. He's now 12-1. NFC, not NFC East, NFC. You heard that right. What a game. What a time to be a New York Football Giants fan. And the Giants are top 5 in the NFL power rankings 6 weeks in. If you ever told me that, I'd think you were nuts. Absolutely nuts. And it's really starting to look like Daniel Jones might be the starting quarterback of this team next year and potentially beyond. If he continues to play like this, you have to bring him back. I love the way Daboll answered a question about Daniel Jones. 4th quarter, right? He did it again. And he looked off a reporter. At this point, if you're criticizing Daniel Jones for the way he's playing now, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what more this guy can do. The touchdown passes are going to come. He doesn't have wide receivers to throw to right now. His rookie receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson, came back this week. He threw a touchdown pass to him. He's a good receiver. He's a good rookie. 2nd-round pick. Daniel Bellinger, 4th-round pick, touchdown pass. Everyone else, non-existent in the passing game. Baltimore stuffed the run really well. Calais Campbell, Travis Jones, and Justin Madubuike did their job. All 3 of those players had a sack on Daniel Jones. I mentioned Madubuike on the live stream last Thursday that he'd be a player to watch. I mean, dude had 5 tackles, a QB hit, and a sack. Travis Jones, 2 QB hits and a sack. Calais Campbell, 4 tackles, 2 QB hits and a sack. They were all over Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But somehow the Giants managed to get the job done. They are 5-1 on the year. I'm excited. I hope you are too. This is the best Giants football we've seen in like 13 years. I'm so pumped. And I'm really excited to see what Week 7 has in store. Later this week, we're going to post and publish our film review from the top plays of Week 6 for the New York Football Giants. And, of course, we'll have our live stream Thursday night, 7 p.m. on Big Blue Avenue. You can catch that live stream on our social media below. Hank and Dichter will be hosting this week. I'll be leaving a little video clip with my thoughts on the game. Make sure to check us out if you like what you watch on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Big Blue Avenue. Once again, folks, let's go Giants. And without further ado, let's go Big Blue.